think now you can hear me. So let me just quit everything here. Let me quit the music. Let me quit the. Yeah, I think now you can hear me, right? And there we go. So hello everyone. Hello. Hi Mavisi. Hi Zbranik. Hi Kingsley. Hi. Yeah, I think it's only Kingsley. Hey Raftar. How are you? So, hi everyone, welcome today to another episode of Global Hack Week. I hope you're having an excellent week, and I hope you had fun if you were in the last stream of the Kaggle tournament. If you were learning how to uh, use Kaggle for your competitions and how to create a machine learning model. And yeah, I hope everything was great. So, how's everyone? Um, I'm doing great. Actually, now my internet is kind of not failing like the other streams, so I hope today is not the quite difference. Hi, Sonny. Hello. How are you? So yeah, today we're going to learn how to use smart contracts. So if you have been in the last streams, we were building smart contracts with React and JavaScript. In this occasion, we're going to learn a little bit more about smart contracts in Python. So from what I know is that you can use some libraries to start and create smart contracts in Python. So yeah, let me just search for something and let me introduce you to the student developer pack like the other streams. So if you have been in the latest streams, you know that we keep like 5 minutes to introduce a little bit more about the student developer pack, how you can get your student developer pack if you're a student and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, let me just share my screen here and blah, 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 blah. So yeah, I think now you can see. Yeah, now you can see it. So again, welcome today to another episode of Global Hack Week. So if you know, we're dedicated like 5 minutes to just talk about a little bit more about the student developer pack. So the student developer pack is a digital toolbox that gives you uh, tools. So as you can see, some of the experiences that give you that GitHub gives to you have been uploaded and have been updated also. So most of them have been recently updated. So you can go here and try to use everything that you want. So if you don't know what are experiences, so experiences are a set of tools and instructions that GitHub gives to you, so you can learn a little bit more about how to begin a new career in data science, machine learning, DevOps, being a model developer, a JavaScript developer, or anything like that. If you want to create your new portfolio, if you want to design in Figma, if you want to create a hackathon and stream it, like when we were in the pandemic, we had to do some of the hackathons online. So yeah, if you want to still create a online hackathon, you can use a virtual event kit for making your streams and also host everything in your hackathon in the cloud. So yeah, also you have a lot of tools that helps you to develop new hacks. So if you want to create your new Minecraft server, you can use DigitalOcean. If you want to create I don't know, a new portfolio, a new GitHub page, I mean, a new web page. You have Namecheap, you have name.com, you have tech domains. If you want to host a new API, you have Heroku, you have Microsoft Azure. If you want to create an application that involves using cognitive services, artificial intelligence, or anything that involves using Microsoft AI tools or anything like that, you can use Microsoft Azure. You have also JetBrains if you want to use a new IDE like IntelliJ IDEA, PyCharm, WebStorm, or anything like that. If you don't like Visual Studio Code, you can use any of these tools that you have right here. If you want to prepare for your next tech interview, you have Educated. Also, you have the experience of career readiness that helps you to be prepared for your next interview. So if you're near graduation or you're going to graduate from college, this should be awesome for you. Also, you want to learn a little bit more about front-end technologies, about data science and machine learning. You have DataCamp, you have front-end masters, and if you want to create your portfolio, but you don't know anything about like how to use HTML, CSS, and things like that. You have Bootstrap Studio, and yeah. So as you can see, you have a lot of tools that you have here that gives you as free for just being a student. So now the question is, how can I claim this? So the simple response is just sign up to your create a GitHub account. After that, go into students, then get student benefits in this button, and GitHub is going to ask you if you have anything um, like a credential, or if you have I don't know, Cardex where all your notes are, or if you have anything like, well, it's a little bit easier if you have like a educative email. So in that case, gives you GitHub can verify a little bit faster that you're a student, and usually it takes like 3 days for confirm all your benefits. But yeah, you have a lot of things that you can claim. It's almost like $3,000 in credits. Um, how is this called? IDs and pages like SSL certificates. Well, there's a lot of stuff here, so you can use it as free for just being a student. And yeah, other of the cool things that we have is GitHub Code Spaces. So let me search GitHub Code Spaces, and I think that yeah. So GitHub Code Spaces is other of the cool things that GitHub gives to you for just being a student. So as you can see, you have like your repository, and you can open an IDE like Visual Studio Code. Well, basically it's Visual Studio Code, but in the cloud. So yeah, you can use GitHub Code Spaces for starting your new project, like the one that we're going to create, and you can code everything like in the cloud. You don't need to worry about like your hardware if your computer is not that powerful, doesn't have enough power for your, I don't know, next API. If you're going to compute a lot of things, you can do everything in the cloud right now. So yeah, I think that is a cool benefit that you have. So what are we going to do today? We're going to be let me just read the chat. Yeah, that was the GitHub Student Developer Pack. So if you want the GitHub Student Developer Pack, you can just go into. Let me put this here. Let me go. Yeah. So let me copy and paste this. Okay, this is the GitHub Student Developer Pack. You can claim it just by going there in the link that I just posted in the chat. You can sign up for your Student Developer Pack. And yeah, with that, that will be enough for claiming it. So, okay, so what are we going to do? So let me just go into my profile. So if you want to follow me, this is my profile. Let me share with you in the chat. And let's open a new repository. And I'm going to just initialize a new repository. So let me put my profile, go ahead, week, smart contracts, and creating smart contracts in Python. Add a README, and then create a repository, and let me open a new code spaces. Okay, so now we have a repository. So let me use. Let me read the chat first. So hi, it's 404 not found. Hey, nice. Thank you so much for being here. Sid says thanks. If I just see the offers when I open the link, it means I already have access, right? Yeah, I think if you have like if you go into the offers and you see something like a code for your domain, or if you see that some buttons appear or some links appear for like click here for claim your Azure credits or anything like that, you already have activated your student developer pack. All right, so now I already shared the repository. So if you want, you can come into your repository and then click into the code button. You're going to see that says local and code spaces. So the section that we want to click is into code spaces. And click this green button that says create code space on main. Uh, and with that, we're going to see that we already have like a new Visual Studio Code IDE open in our browser. So it is being initialized. So also let me open ChatGPT and let's try to ask ChatGPT how can I create smart contracts in Python. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so yeah, so let me know if you already are in the code space. Yeah, you can do it. You can work in your local machine. There's no problem. So let me just go here again. And yeah, as I said, you can work in your local machine. There is not, well, there should be no problem with this. So yeah, let me go and share my screen share while the code space is being loaded. Let me share the stuff. So we're again in ChatGPT and we're now asking how can I create a smart contracts in Python. So it says SmartPy, that was one of the libraries that I think Kingsley talked about. No, it was Sonny. Thank you so much, Sonny. Sonny said that we can use SmartPy, and ChatGPT says so. So test is all right. So creating a smart contract using Python is possible through platforms that support Python or its variations to contract development. This blah blah blah. Another blockchain. Okay, so here's a brief introduction to using Python for smart contracts. Okay, so we have the SmartPy for Tesos. So Tesos is a blockchain that can evolve by upgrading itself, and it has a known platform for smart contract development called SmartPy. SmartPy is a Python library to help develop smart contracts for Tesos. Okay. Okay, so then we have Neo Python that says Neo blockchain supports the development is black. Mhm. Okay, so this also it says Viper is a contract-oriented Pythonic programming language that targets the Ethereum virtual machine. While it's not Python, its syntax is inspired by Python, making it easier for Python developers. All right, so let's try to ask how to use SmartPy. How can I create? Can you provide a step by step? You provide a step by step guide to create a smart contract in Python with smart Pi. All right, so certainly here's a step-by-step guide to creating a smart contract with Python with the SmartPy. Okay, so the SmartPy CLI, which lets you develop, test, and deploy smart contracts locally. So to install, All right, so we have this, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so let me do this in my repo in my code space. So I'm going to share this. Uh, Sage. So let me go again and ask, can I install a Smart Pi CLI repeat? I think so, but let's try it. Mm, All right. Okay, so let me search how to install Smart Pi CLI. So let me see how to install this. Uh, okay, so open test host says to install the Smart Pi. So we have the protocols, blah blah blah. You can code locally in your favorite uses with other interesting feature to potential development. Okay, with the Smart Pi, you can choose among numerous. So install the command interface. Right, so let me copy and paste this on my code spaces right here. It's doing Control S Smart install Sage and S HTTPS is smartpi.io /li install all that is H. Huh, interesting. So let's see if we have another option for installing SmartPy CLI. Okay, so it says installation. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the preferred way to running SmartPy is by the SmartPy wrapper. This requires Docker and works on both Linux and Mac OS. It can be obtained as follows: wget smart to test if you can download example. Okay. All right. So let me copy and paste this in the browser. Right, so it looks like we have SmartPy. And to test it, you can download an example. Okay. Okay, so it is downloading the warm SmartPy. Okay, so we did this result, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me send the code here. Actually, you can following this guide. And also, so it says there is one open bracket list at the end. Okay, so with this open bracket, you mean the one that is blah, blah. Let me search for the command. So for first installing the so to say the solo smart pi CLI run compiles smart pi user expressions. Okay, so let me see the prerequisites. So I think first we should install a virtual environment for doing this. No, I don't want this. All right, so we have, but this is while we are writing and testing in the online editor, right? Okay, so to familiarize with your templates, Okay, so prerequisite. First installation. Okay, Python code editor example, creating virtual environment. Okay, let me create a virtual environment first. Oh yeah, my bad. No, Python m uh, virtual environment and now we have the virtual environment. Oh no, let me just delete that. Actually, let me delete everything because I don't even know what I'm installing, right? So let me sub this and let me install this instead of installing in the root. Let me install it in python.m bnb and I want it to be on BNB. All right, so we have already installed the virtual environment. So now let's go into the virtual environment. So if I'm not wrong, I should use source um, BNB in activate. I think so. And yeah. All right, so let's see if this runs. All right, so we are now in the virtual environment. So should we do anything? Okay, so should we install the command line in the virtual environment? Uh, okay, no. So depfd, so I think it's an error in the CLI of the SmartPy. So let me go here into the link to see if we can see something that the. Oh, I think it doesn't. We don't have anything in the command line. Okay, install SmartPy CLI. Open Tesos, I think it's called. So we have open Tesos, SmartPy. Okay. Hmm. All right, so shall we ask ChatGPT if we have any kind of error? So we have that, Right, let me share this with you. Let me ask, I'm having an error while compiling, while downloading the CLI. Says, here it says, there might be an issue with the installation script that is being fetched in Excel. Please direct the installation command. Okay, so first try downloading a script file, then inspect it to see if there's a body shell script. Now you can execute the script. All right, let me do that. Let me copy the code, then go into my tab and let me clear this. Is it installed? Yeah, it was installed. So we have a lot of stuff here. So let me just do install smart pi.csh. Oh, you're right. First, we need to pass the premises. Okay, so let me then pass premises to this, and try to install this. So it's a syntax error near document, new line. So token unexpected new line, line 1. Uh, right, so then let me ask ChatGPT again. Can you see any error in this HTML? Uh, okay. Mm, okay, so did I copy and paste it well? Okay, so we have the doc type HTML. So we have the HTML tag that I start here. Meta, and I import the meta. So okay, so then let me go again and ask while running the script. I got the error. See what it said. Heard your state suggested you're the it's not a shell script but rather a HTML file. You see it. Yeah, and text editor states content, but if you like the thing to have direct download. Oh, okay, so we can use curl. Okay, so let's try to do curl instead. So let me clear it in and curl is the same thing, I think. Um, yeah, it actually is. It is the same thing. So okay, so instead of this, I think that we're going to choose another library so we can continue with this. Okay, so it says that we have Viper. Uh, okay, so then let's change the prompt here instead of being using this. Viper. And so it says did you clone the repo for the smart price CLI? No, I didn't even know that this has a repo. So smart pi CLI. Let me see the repo. Okay, so it's Dockerized version of smart pi CLI. This is based on latest ping image. Okay. So we have a smart pi. This is blockchain, smart online ID, offers user friend, command line. So before installing SmartPy, you can try it online. So the preferred way to using running SmartPy via the wrapper. It requires Docker and works both in Linux and macOS. So to test it, you can download an example. Okay. So let's see if by using Viper we can do it well. Oh, do you have any kind of recommendations, Sonny, for this? How about the no script tag in the end? Uh, no script. You mean no script? So we have description, Google tag, tag.js, material UI fonts and result globals. Okay. So let me do something to search smart CLI and just to see we if the thing that we are downloading is the same as using this. Because now it interests me that it uses material UI and some other stuff. Mm, okay, right. So if we go into the online IDE of a SmartPy, will make any difference? Mm, I don't know. Uh-huh. Okay, so let's start. Let's wait until it downloads. This website has the latest version of SmartPy. Okay, so select a template, edit and run the code. Okay. And the templates are simple examples. Okay, let's see a simple example. Welcome a small example with a builder simple storage and only small entry point. Uh, so this is my contract, self data, the parameter. So we have an entry point and we have tests. So we define a test scenario together with some outputs and checks. We first define a contract and add it to the scenario, and then add count some of the entry points. Finally, we check its final storage, and we can define another contract using the current state of C1. All right. So, um, so what do you think if instead of using the RCLI that we have here, that we're using currently in our code space, we use the SmartPy CLI? But I don't know. What do you think? Do you want to do it in the online IDE, or do you want to try it for another alternative like Viper and try to set everything like in our local machine? All right. Yeah. So let's see other examples. Store value calculator, a simple calculator in the blockchain. Minimal template for to start with. I have my contract, entry points, and minimal. Okay, so let me then go into ChatGPT and ask how can I create a simple hello world in Smart Pi. So, okay, I'm just asking right now ChatGPT how to create a simple hello world in Smart Pi so we can use the CLI for running everything. But while we are waiting for this, then let me search. So yeah, so it looks that first we have to define the class of hello world or the contract that we're going to use. Then we're going to then we need to create a testing uh, section of our contract. And with that, I think that should be all. Then the deployment, I think it's in on the ID like ChatGPT says. So okay, let's go. Let me go here and let me share with you the link of the ID. Uh, uh, so hello, Sharky. Yeah, so I think we can work in the IDE, and for questions or anything like that, we can just ask ChatGPT things, and yeah, we can work with that. Okay, so hello, Sharky. Sorry, guys, maybe dumb question, but how do I code with you guys and follow along? So usually we use code spaces, and the advantage of code spaces is that we can have a repository that we can use. So the repository that we wanted to use was this one. Um, but what we can actually do is having the code that we have that we're going uh, to make in our SmartPy IDE. When we finish some section, we pass it to the code space, push it to the repo, and then you can pull it automatically. And I think that will be that. I think that can work. So this country is going to be called Hello World, and then let me import the contract. Let me close this, and let me create this, and let me see if this. Um, all right, so let me know if this is enough for you. If like this is visible, if you want me to make a little zoom here. So let me just add. Yeah, I think with this should be enough. But I don't know if you need more like a higher font size. Let me know. If not, let me begin with this. So okay, so it says that we have a contract management and then the output panel. I think that this is like the terminal. And all right, so we have our smart Pi as SP and then the SP.model. But first, let me see if you are seeing like the full screen or anything. Yeah, I think you can see it. All right, so it says that we have the first thing that we do is import SmartPy as SP. Uh, so now we have an SP.model and we have a main. Okay, so the main definition has so our main function has a class called my contract called that is going to receive an argument that is an sp.contract. That sp.contract, I can imagine that is a contract object. So then we initialize this, and then we have our entry point, and after that we have our test section. Okay, so we have our define contract section, and then we have our test contract section. All right. So we have SP that a test name is equal to minimal. So I think this is the section where we use uh the minimal part. But for now, let me ask ChatGPT that, like, what is going on in that code. So let me copy and paste this, and let me go to ChatGPT, and then can you explain me a little bit how what is going on in the following code? All right, so certainly, let's break down the provided SmartPy code step by step. So we first import the SmartPy, okay? So then we declare a model that I think, what does it say? So it says that sp.model declarator is a model in SmartPy. A model can contain multiple contracts, types, and functions. It's a way to organize and encapsulate smart contract code. Okay, then we define the contract in an SP contract. The contract is a subclass of SP.contract, which is a base class. Okay, it is a base class. So then we have our constructor where we don't do anything. Then we have entry points, and there's a constructor for my contract class. It's called when. All right, so basically it's the constructor of the contract, and then we do the entry point of the correlation. So okay, so this is interesting. Entry points are methods of a contract that can be called externally. When a contract is deployed on the Tesla's blockchain, these entry points are the function that the users or the contracts can interact with. Again, in this example, the entry point does nothing. All right. So, what do you think if instead of doing that, if asking to explain the code that we passed, ask ChatGPT if he can explain the code that he gave to us, like the Hello World code. Okay, so can you explain me the code you gave me? So let's break again. We are importing the smart contract, and then what are we doing? Then after importing the smart contract, we are creating a hello world class. That is the name of the contract that we are. Mhm. So then we init a message. Okay, so I think this can be alterated, or we can change that. Okay, so hello world has p.contract hello world. So this is the constructor of our contract. The init method is right. So we initialize first the message to the hello world. hmm With a single field name message, since it's about the hello world. Okay, so then we have our entry point in the test part. So it says update message and then new message, and then we pass a new message, right? So this defines an entry point for our contract. Entry points are messages that can be called externally. So the SP entry point decorator tells the SmartPy that that the following method is an entry point. The update message entry point allows users to change the message in the contract's storage, and it takes a parameter new message and assigns this value to the contract's message field. Okay, so then we add a new test, and this test basically creates a new variable called C that is going to be a new hello world class. That hello world comes from this class. Okay, so we create a new hello world object. Then we have a new scenario that is going to initialize a new SP data scenario. And then we have an H1. Okay, so the scenario contract setting up as a testing scenario. All right. So I don't know what that H1 means. So let me ask that. Uh, so what does scenario that does? And when you're setting up a decision scenario, various methods allows you to structure and annotate the output for a better readability and organization. The scenario H1 Hello World contract method is one of those methods. So when you run the test, the output will include sections and a scenario H1 produces a level one head. Okay, all right. So similar to an H1 in HTML in the output, so this header acts as a title separator, making it easier for you to read and understand the flow of the test scenario when you're looking at the test results. So if you're using Smart Online Editor, the effect of this will be even more apparent as the output will be rendered in a way, okay, yeah, got it. Got it. So, okay, we pass the scenario H1 hello world contract, and when we pass, so a scenario plus equals C lines adds our contract to the scenario so we can visualize its initial state. All right, so then we add a new message. This says help test us. So I think I got it. So then we have help test us. So at the start of our scenario was just hello world contract, and then we are going to update it to new message run. Well, I mean, see that update message to new message is going to run and if valid true. All right, so let me copy and paste that into the IDE so we can see it running. So let me just go here with this. Okay, so we have a smart pi as SP, and let me see if this, yeah, see that model. So we added, no, we don't. All right. So instead of doing this, let me put this like here. Mhm. So we have class hello world. So let me just quit this. Then take this class here and add it right here. So instead of my contract class, we're going to start a new hello world class. And then let me quit my memory here. So then after doing this, we have a test and then we initialize this. All right, and then let me quit everything that we have here. And instead of doing this, we name it like hello world test. Hello world test. Okay, so we have the model, make plus hello world. I think this should be linted like this. And also this. Good. It is correct, I think so. So we have the main, All right, so let me go here and see. Oh yeah, it does. That's correct. All right, so then let's try to run this. And in main line, self-init is not part of the new syntax. So what is the new syntax? Oh yeah, so I can imagine that this is something like message is going to be equal to hello, and then self that message is going to be equal to message. Okay. And we have update message and we have init. And all right, no para message hello world. So I think that it should be just hello world. So hello, hello world. And mm, so what are we doing to show how? Let me quit this and just see how it declare in the past version. So we have sales from past. Okay, yeah. So we have the message hello world. Should we pass message and being just like message? So we have self that data that message. So we have the new message. So we have message and then we pass. All right. All right. All right. So should we first compile it? I don't think so. So our name hello world is not defined. So which hello world do you mean? Uh, line 18. Okay, is this one? But it is defined, right? So what is going on here? Okay, so we have okay, so we have hello world that is an sp.contract, and then we have init that has self. All right. So what is going on then? So we have, let me do this again. So say it's equal to hello world. So what happened? Hello world, then hello world. And okay. Oh yeah, my bad. Forget to add this, I think. Oh, well, what is going on then? So we have hello world says hello world, and then smart Python's an attribute contract. What? Uh, okay. Hmm. So what it says that it doesn't have anything. Hmm. Okay. So hello. Oh, I think the problem is that it is not detecting the class here in mainline. Name error name hello world is not defined. That is weird. Um, then at the smart part. Sorry for being a little bit quiet. I'm trying to see what is going on here. Model, model, and then so smart pi SSP and what's after? And what is going on? So it's more SSP that. So then what is going on with this? So we have SP that should be like this, like contract instead of contract with the. So we have the RPi, hello world, like this, Hmm. And let me go here, the SmartPi, add the speed that model, and then instead of using this, use something like this. Function argument code. What? I didn't. Oh, then what is going on with this? So because we have the hello world speed as contract, and so I think I'm going to just use a new template because I don't know, to be honest, what I'm messing with. And then how can I create another? Yeah, templates. Template, simple template, and then use a minimal start with. So import that contract, then close it. All right, so this is working. So, but if we want to use something like um, class hello world, that's an sp.contract, and then initialize that by a def init, and then pass self value, uh, message, then pass self that message is equal to message uh, message, and then add a new entry point. That entry point. Oh no! I just want to select how to, yeah, entry point, and then dev mm, update message is going to have a new message self in that new message, and then we want to say that self that message is going to be equal to new message. Right, so we have so we have self message is equal to new message, and yeah, so let's try to do that. So instead of a scenario, it will be main. All right, so we have. So if I want to do this like this, so we have main minimals instead of hello test. So I want to say something like C is equal to hello world, and then say something like new message. Um, main contract. So again, edit here scenario. Okay, so scenario plus equal All right, and ChatGPT said to us that they want to do something like um, C is equal to hello world, and then do this. All right, so let me just try to do that like here. So hello world in a scenario has a scenario to be that this is a scenario. Then we have a scenario that h1 hello world contract, and then scenario plus equal C. That is a hello world object, and then new message is equal to hello tests, and then scenario plus equal say C update message. All right. That's not a statement. Which part? The 13. Hmm. So we have the it's a new message. Okay, so we have here something like this, right? Like a definition. Then we should pass this like this. What? Again, we have the same error. But I think this is because scenario with main. So our test scenario is this one. Yeah, I know why. Because I was not linking in the same total space undefined. Did you forget to add it to the scenario? So please either speed test scenario or please speed test scenario main. So we have an, oh yeah, contract. No statement. So this should be here. And private variable says the message is not this self that data dot such. So okay, so then self that data that message I think it is. So should be self init such message is equal to hello. No. So then we should use a new template of this to CSML. Okay, so then let's go. So this is SmartPy. You can experiment and have a simple Pi model, and then we have a class of contracts. All right. So it's self that data that oh yeah. All right. So self that message, self that data that message should be all right. And then we have an entry point. So assert is self All right. So an entry point message receiver. All right. Scenario. So first we define a new test scenario together with some output and check the scenario takes the model as a parameter. Uh, uh So my entry point, all right. So instead of using like a normal Python, then we use self that something is equal to something. We use self that data, my parameter, the parameter, right? So all right. So self that data that message is equal to message and then send you message. All right, so now it works. And then we have line SmartPy. So we have an entry point, but we want to do something like scenario. Main scenario is equal to hello world. Scenario. And then do something like C1 is equal to main.my contract. But instead of my contract, I want to do something like world. I think, yeah, hello world. And scenario, let's equal this. Okay, hello world. Um, hello. Okay, so we have line 13. And what should we do with this? types. All right. So an example, ChatGPT does something like I had the scenario plus equals C, and then okay, okay. So ChatGPT does something like this. So update your message. New message called test scenarios. Update message. Uh, uh, how about this is C1? This should be a C1. C1 dot update message, new message, and then run. And we pass that. Yeah, we pass the new message. Show is not defined. And this is in where? In verify? No, it is on here. It's no verify. Show is not defined, but where is it? Happen here. So scenario plus equals C1. And what's going on? Where? Here? Is this because of this? So then I can do something like C1 dot. Um, say, well, if I want to run anything, can go with simple templates, then go to welcome. So we have my entry assert. Okay, so should I use an assert? Like, I don't know, do something like an assert? Assert um, self that data that message is equal to message. Whenever you want to use the update. So if I run C1 that no, scenario that blah, 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 scenario that what? Scenario that equals C dot update C1 dot update message new message. Oh yeah, my bad. But well, I mean, I want to pass a new message, right? So new message, but also we have an error here because it says contract is pre-contract variant update message is equal to a split string which lacks entry point update message. Oh yeah. So again, we have an error here of the show is not defined. So with this store value, so we had solve the data that store value is equal to value, then replace data store value that is equal to params that value. Okay, so I think this makes something like where are we building? Hi Indigo, thank you so much for being here. Okay, so we have store value, then self that data that store value is equal to value, then SP entry point is equal to replace self params params dot value, then entry point double divide. All right, so we have stored value, then we have a stored value that function called replace with which replaces with the values of the params, the parameters. And then we have self that data stored value. Okay, right. So we have a test named stored value. So what is template? If template is not in name, and what is name and why I don't know. So SPI test. So we have same main store value 12. So we stored a new. We create a new class called store value that receives a value. All right. So we have 12. Then a scenario. Is equal to make a scenario in main. Then store value. Replace value with this. Okay. So I think this is a good example for what we want to do. So let me run this again. We have the store value. hmm So, all right. So we first go here. Let me rename anything. Oh, well, I think store value is good, right? So instead of being a value, let me oh, just comment everything here. Like I want from here. And here. Right. No, from here. Yeah. So I wanted to comment this slide for seeing how we can replace this with the hello world example. So we have instead of this, we receive a hello world. So we have a scenario, how we already initialize our scenario, then we add the object to the scenario, and let me see if this works. Uh, internet. So why reserves what? So where do I define that? Okay, so store value is expecting to receive an int. Okay, but how we can ensure that? And let me comment this again here. Oh, I think it's because of the entry points. Yeah, I think it was because of the entry points. All right. Yeah, let's try to see if that is true. So we do this again. Yeah, it was because of the entry points. Yeah, so hey, cool. So if the entry points expect to receive some number or to do some operations, maybe it does something like that. All right. So then we can define self value, self that data that is our value is equal to value. Then the so replace. All right. So then we instead of doing this, we do something like new message uh, is equal to uh, hello. And then we can run something like C1 dot replace and then say value is equal to new message. All right, cool. So we see that we have here now like the transaction that we made. It says the transaction was okay by some time. Okay, so the operation that we did was replaced, and the value was replaced to um, the value that we received in the replace um, parameter was hello global hack week, and now the storage has stored value with hello global hack week, right? Okay, cool, cool. Um, So sorry for reading that. So sorry, Indigo. Yeah, this month all my sessions were on that kind of time. So all my sessions are kind of similar. I will have a session on Saturday, I think. Like for me, it's like 2 a.m. But I don't know if for you, Indigo, is like, yeah. I don't know if you are like in an EST timestamp or anything like that. I mean, time zone. But let me know in which kind of time zone are you, so I can identify like if we can catch up something, right? All right. So we have replaced this already. So let me go again. So you want to replace? All right. So we have this already done. So can we do something like having an array inside this? So let's try to do that. I have something like self that strings is equal to an empty array. Self that data strings are equal to this an array. Well, let's touch ChatGPT like that, right? So can what kind of things it can store in a contract? So in case of smart contracts and by extension of you can store a wide so we can store basic data like integers, strings, booleans, bytes, enumerations, composite data types like tuples. All right, so we can store lists. All right, so we can have sets also. So basic data, composite data types, and lambda function. Oh, we can also store lambda functions. Okay, so big maps, key value. Okay, so we have polymap. Okay, so what if I want? Okay, so if I want to store it's like strings, like maybe I want to keep up like each time that I upload a new message to my history, I want to see the body of that message. So let's call that like an blah blah like if, instead of being replaced, I want that message, and then sell the data store value. Instead of the store value, I want strings. The um, equal to sell the data strings that append, and I want to append params that value. All right. So we have this. So instead of replacing this, I want to add a message. Store it as value. It's value. Uh-huh. So let me see if this works. All right. So let's see the documentation here. So append. All right. So we have lists here. So listen elements type T has type SP list. For example, one has a type So we have len. Oh, okay. We have push. All right. Yeah, we don't have append. So in the documentation says that like instead of having an append function, we have a push function. Uh, returns a new list with an element added to the phone. All right. So we have counts, range, and all right. All right. Cool. Yeah. So instead of being being append, we should use push. And so we have has the fields push of type that got SP at least. But got SP at least. So should we do something like instead of doing this, just self data that strings that push params that value? Mhm. Yeah, it was that. All right, cool. So we have a transaction. Yeah, so all right. So we have add message, and then do we run just add message? Yeah. All right. All right. So yeah, we can we did update the list here. So let's see if we can do something else. All right. So Indigo says that he's on GMT +1. So GMT 5 to GMT +1. Let me see this. So for me, my time zone is so is this. So I think I have. Okay, so I have a stream at your 7 a.m. and my other streams is at your 8 a.m. Both of them are mini games, so I'm going to be um, having both the streams like at 7 and 8. So don't worry about it. All right, so let's continue. Blah 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 blah. Just give me a minute. Okay, right. So we can continue with this. Right, so we have already replaced, we have double. Okay, so we saw that we can do operations. So can we do something else? So we have models. All right, so Smart Pi code is structured as one or more models. So models are defined using so that is what we saw. So we have a model that is main. This example defines a single Smart Pi model called main. All right. So then, okay, so the name can be fully chosen. So containing a single contract. Uh, so because main is decorated with a speed model, everything inside is part as a smart pi syntax. The decorated function main here is never executed. It's a simple way of structuring the source. Okay, okay. So then we have the contracts. So it says that a smart Pi contract is defined by a Python class that inherits from sp.contract. Okay. Okay, so that is what we saw. So then inheritance. Oh, cool. So we can also inherit under one contract from another, right? So then we have an auxiliary functions. So within a model, auxiliary functions can be defined as used across contracts. Oh, cool. So we can have a like a global function for each one of our contracts. Oh, cool, cool. Okay, so we have type operations. So we have within a model, type operations can be used to give a names to a complex types. Okay, so we have a T type that is going to expect to have X that is going to be integer and Y that is expects to be an integer, right? And then where do we use it? We use it in sp.cast. All right. So we have integers, strings, booleans, units, timestamp, tuples, records, options, variant. Okay, so we have operations also. So in order to interact with other contracts to account, so-called operations can be emitted in SmartPy. Each such operation type is pure operation. All right, cool, cool. So we have a contract, a smart contract, speed at Zen. Cool, sounds interesting. All right, so yesterday we were building something like uh thank you so much, Hideo. So yesterday we're trying to create an a smart contract for for making votations, like vote for some. How can I say this? We wanted to create a smart contract for bringing up like a poll for making like votes in a poll that we have. For example, if I wanted to say like, hey, do you want to eat pizza or do you want to eat hamburgers? Like each one of you can just click into the page and in the API that we were trying to, well, in the page and in the API that we need to do and some more things, we wanted to see from each one of you like all the votes that you made in each one of the polls and in which time it was made and so on and so on. So yeah. So what do you think if we try to do that? So can I use SmartPy for creating a contract that helps me with votes poll? You can use SmartPy to create a smart contract for conducting a poll or vote on test blockchain. Poll is a simplifying. So we have a voting contract that is going to have votes, options, lambda, so initial, because both option not valid, all right. Now what did I did? Uh, here. All right, so we have voting contract, then self.init, then sp.map. Okay, so I don't know if this is already updated. Okay, so can you explain me this code? Okay, so first we add the voting contract, then we initialize them. So we have bots, sp map. So the constructor init, in the constructor init, the contract is initialized with a map where each option from the provided list options maps to its vote count. Initially, all votes counts are set to 0. To the sp.map function helps to create this map with 0 values for all provided options. All right, so I can imagine that I'm expecting to receive a list. All right, so a provided list. All right, so we're expecting to provide to receive a list called options. So maps to its vote count. Initially, all votes counts are to map. Okay, so then we have an entry point that is called vote. So here we define an entry point named cast vote, which allows users to vote for their preferred option. So the sp.verify function ensures that the provided option exists in our map. If not, the contract execution stops and returns the option not available error message. If the option is valid, its corresponding vote count is incremented by 1. All right, all right, all right. And then we test the contract. So we have option 1, option 2, and option 3. So then we can create the contract. And well, I can assume that option, yeah. So we have boats that are going to be, yeah, boats are going to initialize in 0. Yeah, okay. Yeah, got it. So what is a spnat? That is my question. Like, so we have a sp.map. So let's see if sp.map exists here. Map. Sp.map. Map. So we use map. We have maps. A maps takes the elements of All right, so I think this is not necessarily like we don't necessarily need to do this. Then let me see for lambdas. So we have lambdas. The type of function in SmartPy is sp.lambda, where T1 is the argument type. All right. So lambdas can be defined either using Python's lambda syntax or where they have a name using like a such definition lambda. To call lambda simply pass this argument parenthesis, for example, the above definition. All right. Yeah, so it's the same as Python. I see. All right, so then let's try to do this. Instead of being store value, it should be called votes, voting contract, voting contract. That is going to start assign as b.contract. Then we initialize, instead of having a value, we will have options. So options, and then let me remove this. Let me remove everything that we have in this contract right now. So we have this, and let me quit this also. And all right, so then let's start with this. So self data options is going to be equal to lambda. No, to what? To. So we're going to receive options, and then what else we're going to receive? Comma lambda. So we have a map. Okay, so let me search again for map. All right, so we can initialize actually with data. Okay, yeah. So we can use the speed in that map. So okay, so we can have an option in this. We can have something like each option do something like options that map, and or something like that, like um, do something like how like what would be the equivalent of doing normally in Python. Let me try this up. And I think it was something like options that map, and for each map, just uh, yeah, yeah, zero for option in option. Yeah, do something like that. Uh huh. Yeah. We can, instead of doing like list comprehension, we are not, we're actually doing a list comprehension, right? So we're saying like, hey, for each option in options, set its value or set the value of option to zero. And actually, I think that should be the thing that we are looking to, right? So for each option in option, just set the value of that option to zero. And then we need to declare the other function called, well, this is an entry point. So we need the sp.entry point. And we are going to define what? Yeah, but I wasn't sharing this. Sorry for that. So yeah, we are just creating a new voting contract that is going to receive an sp.contract class as an argument. So then we're going to initialize our new class that is going to expect a list with the, well, it's going to expect a argument that is called options. The options should be a list. So I think we can do something like list. I don't know. So let me see if we can do something like that. Yeah, I think so. So then we have the newest scenario. Let me just say something like options is equal to a comma b, c and d, and then say something like sys that voting contract is equal to blah, 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 is equal to options. it's going to receive options, right? So we're going to pass this register value and options text, then scenario plus equal C1, and then see if this stores something. So I'm buying syntax, so we're in 13. Yeah. So for now, let me see if this works. Noah param. Not an expression. Option 0 for option in options. Um, hmm. So we have options here. Blah, 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 blah. So would it work if we do it like uh, how it gave it to us? So we have options like down here. No, like down here. So we have speed at map options, lambda options. All right, I'm going to hope that this works. So save the data that option is to set that map. Oh yeah. So we have just one, two, so very close. And let's see if this. So we build lambda cannot be mapped in. Then what do we do? All right. So then, can we do something like sp.map options lambda option? Okay, so sp.map options is equal to lambda option. Mhm. So we're going to use options, and option is equal to 0. So it's going to be this, and we can do something like for each option in options, then um, self that data that options option. Well, this is going to alterate this, so I don't know if we can do that. Yeah, no, I think we need to do it like that, just to establish it like this. So let me see if we can search something in the documentation so we can do it. Or let me search how to use cookie app in SmartPy. Compose constructions. So we have with respect foundation. So we have maps our data structure, key values. So we have an SP.map. So the register entry point allows the user map the address to a given name. So this is the past version. String booleans, guides. Smart by tokens, Smart pile ID, then we want maps. Set some maps. So we have this, and then how can we push this? Like an entry can be looked up at the aha. So then we can do that, but can I use the lambda just for doing that? Is it equivalent? So call lambda simply pass its arguments in parentheses, for example, in the bulk definition. Uh, so it can also be specified as read-only, in which case access to storage. And then, Hi, Kurt, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. And just give me a minute. I'm going to restart my internet. Though. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? I just changed to another internet connection. Let me know if you can hear me or if there's any problem or something like that. All right, so let's see. All right, so it said that we cannot create something like this, so we can do something like SD without map. So it creates explicit map, and then we can use something like um, option 0 for option in options. So can we do that? Invalid syntax. So we have a map, and then so what does map expect? So a map that takes elements of type K to elements of type B has a type of SB.map. The SmartPy maps are similar to Python dictionaries. Okay, so SB.map. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm, right. Oh, yeah. I think I got it. Okay, so an entry can be looked up with the M notation. Oh, got it, got it. Okay, so should we initialize instead of using something like that, like option dot option 0 for option in options? Should we do something like that, or what? Smooth unified or direct number of arguments? No. Hmm. So what if instead of doing this, we do it like this? Like, just going to initialize that, but instead of passing that, I want to pass an option with something like option is equal to for each option. Let me just change this, and instead of doing this, I want to do something like option 0. Hmm. So I can do all this comprehension. Mhm. So what is the spinet in this part? So what is sp.net, but not 0? Mhm. Refers to natural. Okay, it's natural number. Okay. Okay, okay. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got it, got it, got it. Cool. So we can go here and instead of doing this, we can do something like see that map and then options. And then, lambda is going to take an option. It's going to take option and it's going to initialize it as a net. It's at net 0, right? Of 0. Options. What? Okay. So let's try to do that again. So we have options map. But we initialize first a map. Then we have an options. But. Okay. So we have, let me share this. Again, we go to maps and maps expects to receive a list of objects. So should we do something like option of 0 for each option in options? Well, this works, I think. So instead of passing this like that, can we do something like options map? No, has no attribute items. So for KV in self.items, so can we just print maps and options? Mm, okay, so we have options test. But instead of passing that, I want to pass options just to the book. Is so types, record options list, strings layout options, and points, deploy miscellaneous contract. No. All right. So can I do this? Oh no, I think I stopped sharing my screen. Let me share my screen again. Go here into my smart contracts of SmartPy. Let me go here again and yeah, I think now you can see this. So we are here in this port. So SP map option I have. Oh, interesting. So can I pass the map? Oh wow, I actually can. So now how can I see the value string? Oh yeah, now we got it. Awesome. I don't know what was the difference that we made here. Hmm. So give me just a minute. We want to pass this. So list, and then pass this again, and then options map. Instead of doing this, is equal to. Is it because I'm passing like the options list and then I cannot alter it, the options list? Okay, let's find out that. Yeah, yeah, I got it. So because I'm expecting to receive an object here. Yeah, I got it. Oh yeah. Okay, so what happened was that I was expecting to receive a map, or because I don't indicate what I'm expecting to receive right here. I want to like uh, the contract like kind of struggles trying to changing the value of this, because at the start when I call to the voting contract is a list. But if I try to make an object with each element that is a list and then update that value of the current value of options, then it indicates that there's like a type error, because initially it was a list and now I wanted to update it as an object. Okay, so I can say it's like this should be an sp.map. No, cannot. Okay, it's like this. Okay, so let's see how we can define the types that we want. Uh, so it's types here. There you are. Okay, so for given value x and type, this can be used to fix type an expression. Often this is done for parameters of entry points and in order to resolve type ambiguities. Yeah. Okay. So it says note that this expression can be used both as a statement and as an expression. Okay, so I got it. I think I got it. So instead of passing options, I can say something like sp.map called options. Options. Can I? No, no, I cannot. All right. Okay. So what do I need to do then? Can be used both as an statement and as an expression. So I think I need to use spcast. All right. So for a given value x and got it. So for a given value x and type cast x into type t. This can be used to fix the type of an expression. Often this is done for parameters of entry points and in order to resolve type ambiguities. Okay, so we have EP. Okay, so we have entry point, and we say that the speedcast is going to be something like this, right? So know that this expression can be used both as a statement and as an expression. All right. So we have okay, got it. Okay, so we must handle out like the problems that we can encounter with type the type values, right? All right, got it. So we can continue with this. So now we have that, and then we can make the next function called def input uh, or both, and it's going to have a self and an option, right? Option must be like a string, and then well we must say something like option and object, right? And then we can continue with that, and again we can say that option is a string here. Option is an object, and then option is a string, and then do something like um, c1 dot boat and pass for a, right? And then do something like if option that value in self that data that options, then um, self that data that options of that option plus equal one, right? So self the data that options of option is going to be plus equal one, right? So can we call that? Mm, all right, so let's quit this. Automated. Oh yeah, because we didn't pass the entry point and speed up entry point. Mm, so yay, we got it. All right, we managed to do that. Let me upload this code into the repo so we can use it tomorrow. So then let me just go here, restore my code space, and then let me upload the code into the repository so you can see it. All right, so let me just create a new file. So I'm asking myself, like, how can we handle to do that? Like, how can we handle to ask if something is in the map that we have? Set some maps list. Set maps. Get. Okay, so instead of using in, we can use the get. Okay, so looks up key in the map. If key does not have an entry in the map, default is return or error is trace. Okay. Got it. So let me just add something more. Can use if if what? If self dot options dot options get uh, get option and do that. Uh, okay. Hmm, got it. Oh, I think we can help to do this tomorrow. So yeah, let me just upload the code to the code space, then to the repo. So virtual environment, and let me add a I don't know, a git that git ignore and add the let's initialize. If not, I can just create a new file called smartpy.py and then load it here and just initialize it. And yeah, I think we can commit it. Yeah, okay, so the changes have been uploaded to the repo. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time to continue with this, but yeah, I hope you handle to understand something. If not, tomorrow we're going to continue to with this kind of voting API. And yeah, so I well, it's not an API right now, but yeah, we're just starting to understand how to handle these smart contracts in smart pipe. So yeah, thank you so much for being here, and have a nice global high week, and have a nice day or night, whatever like your time zone is. And yeah, see you tomorrow. I see you tomorrow.